Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kim Duramo. I am here with MindBody TV. I would like to, I want to thank everyone for coming to the workshop we did this week live. It was really, really powerful. I've been amazed at the comments of what people shared of what they experienced during that workshop. It was a free workshop we did on Monday. The replay is available, so I'll make sure I share the link here. I knew it would be really powerful because I can appreciate what this work is really about, but it still sort of really touched me, how many people really received it so deeply, and it moved something so profound in them. I'm so grateful that we had the time to do that, and that it was so powerful for so many people. That is, by the way, at drkimd.com/workshop if you would like the replay, because it is still up for a few days. So hello to everyone who is listening to the recording or listening to the podcast for MindBody TV. We are here live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain in the MindBody community in Facebook, as well as now in YouTube. And hello to everyone who's joining live. How are you? Rita, awesome workshop. Thank you. Robert, hello. Great to see you again. Vanessa, Randy. If you're in Facebook in the MindBody community, you have to give it permission so I know who you are, or it will just show up as a Facebook comment, but I'll see your comments wherever you're joining from. So today I want to talk about, is infinite power really available to us all? The power to heal, the power to manifest, the power to allow life to be an abundant, powerful reflection of who we truly are in our hearts, in our deepest dreams and desires, and our truest expression of self. And I know a lot of people have had confusion around this, where it's like, well, yeah, it's for that person, but it's not for me. That person who healed, because I've shared a lot of really profound, miraculous testimonials for healing. Severe chronic fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, Lyme disease, lupus, migraines, people who were bedridden. I had one person who was only able to be fed through a feeding tube and like in bed for years, who was able, after doing the Embracing Health program, to go outside and get out. She sent us a photo. I'm outside for the first time in 5 years. And it was, it's amazing. And it's a miracle when we can access possibilities that didn't seem to be available. So as a physician, and I was an emergency medicine physician for years, and I've transitioned purely into mind-body medicine, to share about what assists the body in healing, what supports the health instead of just what fights disease. It is a completely different animal to support health, which, yes, does reverse disease, of course, as I've been sharing, versus just being a doctor who fights disease. So that was not what I was put here to do. And I've been getting more of my own clarity of, how do I share this? How do I get the word out? How do I assist people in accessing this? And I've had quite an amazing career doing what I'm doing now. I'd love to hear where you're joining from: California, North Carolina, Seattle, Wisconsin. Thank you, Rachel. Iowa. Yes, the workshop was great. Thanks, KKGG. That's a cool name you have there. Vanessa, the webinar was magical. Thank you. I am really grateful that so many people were able to attend. We had thousands of people who registered, and that was an amazing, just that in and of itself says there are so many people who are ready for this, who are resonating with this, who are looking for this, who understand, yes, maybe I have this disease, but I know there's something else possible. What could that look like? Barcelona. Oh, I'm dying to go to Barcelona. Ontario, Niagara. All right, so let's get to the meat of it. A lot of times it's easy to see others succeeding, even if it shows up in our life, right? Because sometimes it doesn't show up in our life and we're like, this is a pipe dream. I don't even know anyone who has a life like this. But even when it does show up in our life, our mind can still find a way to boot it out. Yeah, that's for so-and-so, but it'll never happen for me. I'll live the rest of my life with this disease, or I'll never, whether we don't think we're worthy, or we don't think we're powerful, or we just feel so hopeless. What I have found is there are these parts of us we've disconnected from. The part who still feels like a victim, but really all what that part of us needs is the acknowledgement of how challenging our journey really has been, how courageous we've been to even breathe through it, even if nothing seems to change, to acknowledge myself and appreciate and celebrate the one who feels so beaten down. That actually allows that part of me to open up and receive. That's what I've seen dispel victim consciousness or shift that and allow so many resources for healing, for wealth, for prosperity to come in that didn't seem to be available before. So that's one thing that can happen. Or thinking, hey, I don't deserve it, or when I do blah, 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 then I'll heal. If you raise your hand and say yes, if you're kind of like waiting for XYZ to happen, and then you'll feel good, have love, be worthy, be enough, like putting that context in place. It's a condition. When I blah, 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 right? Whether it's when I heal my body, or when I make this money, or when I have my lover, or when I have this house, or whatever it is. What is it that you're like, oh, I'm waiting when this happens? So it's conditional. So I want to hear from you on that. What if you could let something in right now? So this is what I wanted to share today. And certainly this is the premise for the Embracing Health program, which is what we have just opened registration for, that starts in June. We have access to unlimited power, potential in our bodies. And we know that the heart's electromagnetic field, the electromagnetics of your heart, actually repattern what's happening throughout all parts of your body. In your brain, old belief systems, old programming, old behaviors and addictions, in your immune system, your digestion, your endocrine system. All of these programs and pathways are actually morphable. They are listening. They are on the template of your energy field. And we can detect this energy field up to 8 to 10 feet away from your physical body. So you're not just your physical body. Your consciousness affects your physical body. So when we do, the tools I've shared, either in the MindBody Toolkit, which is my first book, in the Instant Elevation program, which is a home study program, thousands of people have now had amazing results from that, accessing it online, or people who work with me live in the Embracing Health work. We ignite this, we connect with this inside us, and we allow it to bring us health. We allow it to reverse the disease. We allow it to bring the rebalance. As I shared in the workshop, I didn't really get this with all the years I'd studied mind-body medicine. When I had this autoimmune disease, I thought I was supposed to heal myself. I thought I was supposed to do the work. I thought I had to keep trying and keep finding the right thing. And, then I had this never-ending journey of it just kept getting worse. What was it that actually allowed that breakthrough? Well, it's a transition in consciousness. It's a shift in consciousness where I let something higher in. And this is what has been shown to create spontaneous remission of disease, where we literally cannot find a cancer cell in the body. Unbelievable synchronicities happening in life at just the right moment, out of nowhere. Boom, all of a sudden I got this job in the middle of quarantine when nothing seemed possible and I thought I was going to run out of money. I've had people report these. Relationships showing up in divine timing for, when people really aligned with love within themselves. So I would love to hear from you, Millicent. Can you really heal from anxiety and depression? I will tell you, for me, myself, yes. And for thousands of people I've worked with, I've seen people get off medications, antidepressants, and anti-anxiety medication. In fact, the Embracing Health program, if you want to work with me live, there are really powerful components of this to reverse what's causing anxiety and repression, which keeps depression in place. But there is a DIY, a home study course I have on this as well, if you'd like to do this on your own. The Mind Body Solution for Anxiety And it's at drkimd.com/anxiety. And you'll really love the journey that brings you through in understanding, where does this actually come from? These patterns that trigger the amygdala, and then the amygdala sends off the stress, fight, or flight response throughout the body. So all kinds of different things that are not actually a threat could trigger this, and you live in chronic anxiety. So reversing and unwinding that. And then depression. From this same program, we had lots of people get off antidepressants and report that they no longer have depression, which is a beautiful thing. You cannot do it from fighting depression, which I know is like, I just want to feel better. That creates a lot of resistance. We really can only move deeper into it with willingness that lets the energy move, so we're no longer suppressed. Jenny, hello, beautiful. I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself to heal, to be better. It's like it's all up to me. Yeah, and like I shared in the workshop with that scale of consciousness, when we want to get into a higher consciousness, it's a rejection of the one I'm in right now. I don't want to be in this one. I want to be better. That's why healing is not about self-improvement. Healing is not about, it's not like self-healing. I've got to heal myself, right? Which is, I don't want to feel what I feel now. I don't want to be where I am now. I want to be here in this different place. And like I explained in the beginning part of that workshop, we can only access our power now. And the body only lives in the now. So when I access my body, and if you try this now and just take a few breaths, relax your shoulders, breathe more slowly and more fully. The first thing that happens is you will feel what's here now more fully, not less. So don't make that wrong. I must be doing it wrong because I feel more anxiety or more pain. No, you're doing it perfectly right, because energy needs to move so that it can release. But if we keep repressing it, it can't move. If we want to feel something better instead of what we feel, it can't move. If we want to get to a higher frequency instead of embracing the one I'm in right now, it can't move. That's why I've seen embracing health to be so powerful on so many levels. Who you are in your journey with yourself. Do you love yourself? Who you are in your journey and your relationships with others, who you are with money, who you are in your health. It's all stems from this same place. Okay, the workshop link is drkimd.com/workshop. Rita said, I'm feeling more pain. Yeah, that's exactly the right place to be, is like, oh, I'm feeling more. Yeah, okay, yes, bring more. If you think of the little child who's like, I don't want to talk to you, and they shut down. And no matter what you do to manipulate that child, come on, open up. It's ridiculous. We got to get in the car. You're wasting our time. You can make them wrong. You can shame them. You can put urgency on it. That kid may do what you're asking, but they're not actually opening. Okay, fine. I'll get in the car, but they're still holding it. When you finally allow that kid to open, they're going to be like, I freaking hate you. Or whatever the scream is and whatever the expression is, or just crying. But if you make that wrong, which is what we do with our body, I don't want to feel the symptom. I have a symptom. Oh no, that's bad. I shouldn't have this. We're not letting the opening happen, because the first part of opening may very well be the scream, which is the expression of what that child's really feeling. Ah! And if we don't have space to handle it, either with our physical child or the one within us, the body, because your relationship with your body is like a relationship with a child. You've got to let it open. I promise you, that child is love. It's not wrongness. It's not belligerence. It's love. And the truth of you is love. So you can give space, like 10 seconds, let the pain move. But if it's 10 seconds of complete willingness without agenda, that's going to be a lot different than 10 years with, come on, enough is enough already. We got to get on with this. It's not the same thing. So beautiful. Thank you. Rita said it's so counterintuitive. My word for 2020 is paradox. Yeah, it can come up as a paradox. Thanks. Jenny said, thanks. I can't wait to watch your workshop replay. Good being here live. I've missed you. Thank you, beautiful love. Kay said, thanks for reminding me that everything doesn't have to be hard. Yeah, the more I'm easy on myself, like I'm willing to let what is be, I'm willing to let the pain come and move and to, yes, support and nurture myself through it, but not make it wrong and not repress it and not avoid it. It moves. I've seen this 100% of the time, not usually the case or sometimes the case. And I'm not the only one looking at this. Liam says, can you speak of how symptoms can seem to get worse as energy comes up to be released? And that's, yeah, exactly what I'm speaking to now. So we repress. And what we do is like, this thing happened. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. And I march on, right? I'm going to keep doing my job, or I'm going to, especially a lot of this was like when we were in childhood. I don't have the capacity to express any of this. Let me just be a good girl and not trigger anyone around me. So I'm treated okay. And I just get through this. But then we don't come out the other end of it and complete that processing. Like, whoa, that was freaking nuts. Hey, everybody in order here? How we doing? Right? It's like you got a whole little tribe. All of your cells have a consciousness and they're registering the trauma or just the experience. Whether it's, I don't know, I had someone who got lost in a store. It was only like 15 minutes, but that trauma was registered cellularly and it's 30 years later. You can let it out. That's what this work is about. And actually the calls we do in the Embracing Health program, they're recorded. We'd already gotten to a place where all the different frequencies, and I showed in that scale of consciousness, we've moved through resolution and all of those different levels. So it's not about you moving through life where everything's perfect and I never feel fear again. It's about you moving through life without resistance to fear, resistance to shame, suppression, powerlessness, all of these things that we resist because we're so afraid. Once you learn they're not real, there's really nothing to fear. You can let yourself move through them. It takes 8 to 12 seconds for your body to process an emotion and move through it. Okay. And it actually can be a beautiful experience. Do you ever realize that sadness deepens joy? Or when you view a movie that's like touching, you cry, but it's beautiful. So our emotions don't have to be painful. It's the resistance to those emotions that leads to pain, that leads to suffering, that leads to physical disease. And so, Liam, when we're no longer in resistance, the energy that we've suppressed comes freaking up. And it comes up to move through. And if we're in a space where it's like, I love myself fully, it's okay to feel what I'm feeling, the energy can move through very fluidly. Whether it takes 10 seconds or 10 hours, it's okay. Give yourself a little space around this. Maybe it takes 10 days, usually not. But if you're truly in allowance, it's usually much, much swifter. But the point is, you realize what's actually happening. So instead of like emergently running for a fix, I mean, there's $1 billion industry out there about that, the fix. It looks like a wellness industry. Is it actually creating expansion in health? Most of it is not. And that's really why I created the body of work the way I've created it. And it was not easy because I was in that same rat race of, I got to do more. I got to help people. Until I realized, like, wait a minute, what's true for me? Is this fluid for me? Is this really creating what I'm ready to create in my life? And I had to pause. This was years back, and stop and literally create myself from a different foundation. And that was my recalibration of like meeting where I felt inadequate. And so I thought I needed to do more. It's the same thing that came up when I had that chronic illness. What if I come from a space of my truth and let this be easy? I mean, we've grown this business 100% organically from the very beginning. And people have been able to find this and know and resonate because this is where I choose to reside, because I'm emanating this space from within me to the best of my ability, not perfectly, but that's my guiding point. And that's always created abundance in my life. And so that's what I've shared is like, this is not me teaching you a thing to fix yourself, so you never have to feel these things again, but to truly know. And that's why I wanted to create today's broadcast about this, You are the power. I'm not your source. Your doctor is not your source. Your healer is not your source. Your supplement's not your source. The source is in you. And it will, yes, call in a teacher or a healer or a supplement or a food that will strengthen this, but it comes from you. And so receive all the things that are aligned with it. Yes, don't be afraid to say yes. Say yes to what serves you. Say yes to what expands you. Ask your heart, does this contribute to me? And then let go of the idea that you can't have it, shouldn't have it, it won't work for me. Be unwilling to play in that space and buy into that BS, those belief systems. So this is why things can intensify as you begin to open. You need to do this for sure. I love your videos. Thank you. Let me put the link for those of you who do want to join the Embracing Health program. It's drkimd.com/health. And that is on offer now. That's available for whoever wants to register. Mohammed from Morocco. Thank you. Rachel, I chased cures for so many years and I didn't get anywhere. I bought into the belief that if I got well, I could work full time, live a normal life, etc., and I'd be accepted. Yes, so means to an end. The difference is you'll feel the resonance in the end itself. Like, oh, if I do this program or if I eat this substance, it will feel light in and of itself. Like, yes, this is the speeding up. This is the frequency I'm stepping into. Not, oh, I guess if I do this 10-week diet regime, then it will finally lead to blah, 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 blah. That can work for some things, but it will always be limited. It will never actually create expansion. It can be a temporary release. And maybe there's a role for that in the meantime. But when you're really ready to step into your power, you say yes to that calling. You stop listening to the BS that says you can't have it, that says, what does this blonde girl know? She doesn't understand my problem. You stop listening to that voice and you start listening to, what if I could just receive everything in grace and ease? What could my life look like then? Because you'll feel the lightness that that creates. Rachel said, it's been only through finding this work that I've seen that my journey and years of struggle are actually how I can show up for others and show what is actually possible. This work has been life-changing for me, and I'm so grateful for how I've learned to release resistance. Ah, yeah, Liam said, it's funny, you started answering my question before you read it. Well, we're connected. Yeah, thank you, Rachel. That's been really beautiful. And if you want to share what helped you the most, whether it was like a specific program or the book or Embracing Health, or what particularly assisted you. Lisa said, thank you for explaining this so simply, and yet it's so profound. All right. Facebook user, and I don't know the person's name yet, but can we just do the instant elevation video you have instead of the 3 ones recently from before the workshop? Yeah. Anything that resonates with you, play with it. It's not just one thing as the magic potion. It's really about activating the truth in you. Also, is a smile you did not do considered a reply to a question we asked with your workshop 2 recently sent? I don't understand what that means, but see if you can reframe that question. Smile you did not do considered a reply to a question we asked with your workshop tool. If there's anything I didn't cover in the workshop that you still have a question about, you can ask it here. Okay, hold on. There's a lot of questions coming through. Lisa, daily declarations have helped me love myself. I am love. Beautiful. Chip potato. How do you release resistance from something like feeling upset about getting IVs and blood transfusions? This is actually a great question. I have a generic disorder, and each appointment I get upset due to many factors. Okay, here's the thing for anything like this. Are you willing to receive it? Okay, I'm going to get this blood transfusion. Maybe there's some ideas I have about that, like I shouldn't need this, or this could be harmful, or blah, 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 right? Who knows? This is a pain. I have to show up at the clinic. Who knows? If you can neutralize those, you can be willing to just receive and have like profound benefit from that, you know, whether it's chemo, medication, blood transfusion, or whatever it is. But if you start to notice the resistance you're in, because you're not actually choosing it, you're in resistance. Like, yeah, I'll do this, but it's begrudgingly. I'll do this, but I wish I didn't have to. I'll do this, but I feel like a victim. Or it's wrong, right? Like, I have this disease and that's wrong. And now somehow I'll be compromised and limited and suffer as a result, right? So what if you embrace it? Here's my condition, and I embrace that I show up every week and do this. Because like you could meet the love of your life in that clinic. I mean, who knows? Or you could have, just driving back and forth, something really incredible happened on your commute. Like anything that's even related to it could be part of your expansion and you receiving life more fully. When we have that energy around receiving a medication or a blood transfusion or even the IV, whatever, we will experience more negative effects and more side effects from that transfusion or that chemo or that medication. And this has been shown in studies. When we neutralize this, I receive all things in grace and ease. Then we choose it fully and we'll have like inevitably very positive experience. So if you think, well, I don't have a choice, I have to do this, you're not going to be able to get into alignment. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. What if you don't do it? So you want to look at it. Is this something I'm willing to choose? Maybe you don't like it right now, but see if you can get into alignment. Would I be willing to choose this? Maybe it's going to save your life. And you're like, all right, this is a gift. What would it take for me to receive this in grace and ease? Peter from UK. Hello. Mary. Oh, where did that go? From Canada. Do you think rheumatoid is related to energy that is not flowing well? Well, it's definitely related to resistance, which makes the energy not flow. So yes. And the inflammation, it could be on any different level. And I've seen a lot of people in the Embracing Health program who've had different kinds of arthritis, including rheumatoid, have a way decrease in the inflammation in their body. And so their symptoms. So how can I get into more fluidity and out of inflammation? Well, you'd have to feel into your right now moment. Take a breath in your body. Relax your shoulders. Let your belly soften. Arrive. Breathe in your body and bring your presence to your body. This is the access point because everything that's happening is happening now. Whether it's 20 years ago trauma that you're carrying it now. It's affecting you now. Whether it's fear of the future, obligation to other people, it's happening in you. It'll show up now. Most of us, we're not now. We're escaping now. We're running from now. And says the EFT you created on releasing victim has been very helpful. That is in the MindBody community. And I actually also posted that on YouTube. So, Jess, if you're here, maybe you can post that to this thread. But it's pretty easy to find. It was from last December because I knew what was coming in with this year is really, really big. And like releasing victim, that's going to help you move through it so much more smoothly. In fact, I did a session that I put in the Embracing Health group. It's one of the bonuses you'll have right up front. Moving from empath to awakened master. Yes, I'm super sensitive. Can I master that? So I'm using that awareness. I'm using that as a gift of awareness instead of the sensitivity and I'm in a victim where I'm bombarded by taking on everyone else's energies and I can't move through the world because it's so quote unquote toxic. This is a really powerful. There are 4 keys to move out of fear, to move out of shame, to move out of victim, to move out of depression, which is like where I've made myself wrong and I've suppressed the energy. Really powerful. In fact, I would say that is worth the price of admission because of how much energy that transmutes. And I've seen people literally hundreds of thousands of dollars over years of dealing with anxiety, depression, illness. And, whether you consider just lost wages alone, but like also the money people are paying for medical treatments, emergency medicine, therapies and healers and blah, 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 blah. It is pretty immense. what some of the people who've come to this work have already invested. But it's investing in the fear. And this is a different kind of thing, to invest in your truth. And you'll know, does this resonate for me? You know, is this an investment that's going to move me forward into light, into freedom, into ease and joy? Okay. Ooh, did that work? Oh, thanks, Jess. So that is the video Jess just posted. She didn't label it, but that was the video on moving out of victim. We did some EFT. Sarah is asking, a bunch of people are asking. There you go. Ship, thank you. This will be my ongoing work. Awesome. Shaya, I've been badly injured from being on benzodiazepines for many years. I watch your videos and find them very helpful. Thank you, Kim Duramo. You might be ready to release the idea that you've been injured, that you've been badly injured. You had an experience. It created a pattern in your nervous system, and your nervous system is plastic and can repattern. And I've seen many people get off benzodiazepines with surprisingly, little side effects and a fluid journey. Do this in conjunction with your doctor. Do not go cold turkey with this, but you may be amazed at what's possible in your body as you integrate work like this to work with that neuroplasticity so that your body can accommodate very quickly. Liam, I'm seeing that resistance comes in many forms of expression. Anytime I'm unwilling to accept the present moment, that's resistance. Yes, I know. And like the present moment can seem so unbearable. And it's like, but you don't understand, Kim, what I'm dealing with. And I do, because I've been there in so many layers and so many levels of like unthinkable despair. And like the bottomless pit of grief, hopelessness. I've met these energies, and being as sensitive as I am to move and navigate through life as open as I've chosen to be required me to neutralize that, because the only other alternative was to shut down and numb out. So yeah, these energies are still there, but I'm just going to numb out a little bit more so I don't feel them all so freaking intensely. But I knew that would disconnect me from my own inner guidance. And I thankfully had received and chosen and allowed in the resources to how do I navigate this instead of trying to turn away from it. And hundreds of thousands of dollars I've invested in my life, and amazing mentors that I've had. And it was, I had no idea, where will the money come from? I don't have this sitting in my account. And it was like, Kim, you will be fed and nurtured. Choose your yes. And it's true for all of us. When we choose our yes, we receive. When I open, I receive. When I decide, oh, no, that's too much money, or, oh, I don't have the time, or, oh, that worked for her, but it won't work for me. Guess what I get? Whether you're right or wrong, you'll receive what you believe. And it was a quote from Henry Ford: whether a man thinks he can or cannot, he is always right. It's too much money. You're right. You don't have that. You can't have that. Oh, it's a pipe dream. It's for someone else, but not me. I won't have that. Won't happen for me. You're right. But guess what? You're also right about, I choose to receive infinite source, love, wealth, abundance, joy, ease. I'm right. And one will feel heavy and one will feel light. And if you're willing to choose light, you align with your truth. So be willing to be present in your body and practice that so you can see. Oh, sorry. Rachel said it was the Instant Elevation Mind Your Body program that helped me, along with studying all of your YouTube videos. The Instant Elevation took down so much inflammation. I actually came off pain meds, and as an additional bonus, all my PMS symptoms have gone. Beautiful. The Instant Elevation program, by the way, I'll also put that. It's drkimd.com/IEP. And it's an easy integration. That's really the big foundation of my work. For those who come into the Embracing Health program and want to work with me live, that's a big part of the foundation that we expand upon in the work. So you'll receive a lot of what's in those other home study programs is in the Embracing Health program as well. There's an online program called MindBody Mastery. Tisby, hello. Whenever I surrender to fear, I always end up making my decisions from fear. Yep. Hello, Zoe. Chip said, if I can't afford a mind-body practitioner, is there any one thing I can do now? I would work with yourself. Come into the Instant Elevation program, watch the YouTube videos, whatever is where you're at, embrace where you're at. Because the other thing people do is like, oh, but I can't have that. So it's true, I don't have what I need. No, if that's truly what you is ready for you right now, there is nothing that can stop you from receiving it, and the money will always come in. But maybe that's not true. Maybe you already have what you need. There's tons of free resources that I've offered, and I've seen so many people have amazing experiences with that. So dig in where you are now and let that expand you, because that will lead you to more. Mary said, I think my rheumatoid is more related to fear of the future. Yeah, and when we put our energy there, we inflame our body big time. You just made me think now about it. Fear of challenging myself to move forward, like accomplishing my goals, fear of not succeeding. Yep. See if you're willing to relax around that and soften so that you access higher awareness anyway. GC said, hi, Dr. Kim, is it possible to recover one's sensitivity and awareness after trauma? Yes. That's the whole point. Yes, 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 yes. And you know this already on some level. So I did this with a private client I worked with today. Play the true false game, like truth versus lie, light versus heavy, truth versus lie. When you buy into this idea, okay, oh, I'll never recover my sensitivity. I had this trauma and I'm broken forever. I had this trauma and I'll never get my sensitivity back. So I'm shut down and just gonna have to deal with it. So feel with your heart, not your mind, and breathe. Heavy or light? When I believe that, the energy of that, heavy or light. And you can tell me GC 118 if you'd like. For what's resonating in your system, you'll begin to feel that's heavy. And then go to the flip. I can absolutely recover or move into the level of sensitivity I'm truly meant to function in, to live an abundant and extraordinary life. Heavy light, true lie. You'll know, your body knows. And if you're willing to listen here in the heart, or be receptive here in the heart, you'll let that awareness in. All right. And you can let go of the idea, Chip, I can't afford this, or that. Maybe that's part of where you're resonating right now. Maybe it's just part of a belief system you're buying into, but open up to, I receive all I need with grace and ease, and just soften your body around that. And it will, boom, like I've had people who wanted to join a program of mine. Oh, but I don't have any money. And it was like, no, let that idea go and be in the joy of, I always receive all I need in joy and ease. Life is on my side. Be in the lightness of that. Breathe your body. And then all of a sudden, like money would come like that, like unexpected things would happen because you are an electromagnetic field and you're affecting your life and your experiences. Mandy said, do you have to join Embracing Health right at the start? I can't join until July. Oh, send us an email at support@drkimd.com and we can see what is possible and what we can set up for you. So yeah, if we connect on the front end here, we can set something up for you, sweet love, Mandy. So just email support@drkimd.com. Holly said, good morning, Dr. Kim. Lots of love from British Columbia, Canada. You're so amazing. Just started your book and I'm loving it. Have also got my mom onto your videos and she's loving the tapping. Awesome. So if you're in YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, share this video with 3 people that you love, because I know the world is ready to awaken to this in a mega, mega way. I know that our channel is ready to grow and reach more people. If you're in Facebook, join us in the MindBody community. And that's where my team is resourcing people with questions and wanting to go deeper into this work. You can take the quiz at drkimd.com. There's a Start Here button, and it will walk you through a journey to specifically resource you with some free tools, videos, and maybe a program if you want to go further and go a little deeper on your own of where is the best place for you personally to start. So that's at drkimd.com, and click the orange button that says Start Here. If you are ready to join me live, I would love you to be with me in the Embracing Health program. It's a year integration. You'll go very gentle with your system to let this harmonization occur so that all parts of you come into a higher frequency of letting who you really are come through, letting go of the barriers of protection that are actually repressive, not helpful, to let in health, wealth, love, abundance, and let you really shine through. So Shirley said, is it possible to help someone who would not be willing to try this? It's not possible to, you can only invite someone who's ready to receive what they're ready for, but you can't control what they're ready for or not and what they do or not. All you can do is shift what's in you. Where are you worried that they won't move forward? Where are you feeling bad for them? Where are you seeing them as they are, as limited? Because you can move that in yourself. And this does, very interestingly, open the path for them to possibly be open to more. So you can really only do this within yourself. It's an important thing to remember with our children. Sometimes there's a lot of fear that comes up for them. And, we're trying to help them, but it's from a place of powerlessness and fear. So we're not really, we're disempowering ourselves in the process. GC 118, recovery doesn't honestly feel possible. It doesn't matter if it feels possible. It's truth, lie. So coming into this space, and just breathe 10 breaths into your heart. Relax your shoulders. Go slow. And all you want to ask is this true for me? So you can feel, I'll never recover. Heavy light. It's all you want to look. You don't want to go to the head and think anything you think about it. Heavy light. I'll never recover. It's just not possible for me. Heavy light. It will be clear if you just relax and breathe. Just start with that awareness first. Lisa, what does a chronic dry throat mean? Energetically, I know of Hashimoto's. I suspect it's all connected. Well, this is your energy center, your throat chakra. And so something is inhibiting your ability to be and express the truth of who you are. We actually have a retreat coming up in September. You might want to look into, because it's a lot about this expression of being fully alive as a woman. If you want to be working with us online, this is a big part of what's happening in Embracing Health. It clears through each of your energy centers to allow your essence to come through. And if there's something you have to say, if I were trying to live in the world as just a regular ER doctor following the status quo of what that's supposed to be, I'd be repressing my voice. Like, I'm sure my thyroid would be having a challenge. I would have to really repress a big part of my expression, because that construct doesn't have space for this. I might try to get it out through, I had a lot of suicidal patients that I helped immensely, having a profound awakening right there in the ER. But then I'd be trying to get the bigness and vastness of what this is through the little tiny pinhole of that. And it would just be really repressive to me. So what is it you're really ready to be and share and live that you just could make more space for? And I'd followed my yes 3 specific times. Oh, regarding the yes, I received my choice. However, I did not receive the money. So what then? Yeah. So it's never about, never ever about the money. So when we get into the conclusion of, this is my timeline, it has to come like this. Oh, it must be wrong. It didn't work out. Like, see if you can loosen up around all of that. The yes is still there and you're still breathing, and you can let it come when it comes. And as you stay open, soften your body, breathe more fully, soften your body, breathe more fully. Because the point of that is you're letting in the yes. It may take a little bit to like let that come in and let that percolate, so that, as I shared in the workshop, your body is a manifestation tool. It manifests in your reality. Don't make that part of the equation wrong. Terry, can you explain the difference between your other programs and this one? It's all your courses into one. Well, this one is live. We'll integrate the work together over a year, so we go much, much deeper than where most people would go with a home study program. We do the work that we've done. You'll have these integration audios that take you through using some EFT, using some heart math, using cellular communication to let this register physically in your body. So over the 12 months, you'll go through 24 of those sessions. It's 2 per month. We do have a live call each month, so I can answer specific questions, feel into your specific energy, and bring little insights and awakenings that help unwind that. And then there are other pieces as far as the online content. You'll have a lot of what's in those other programs, but you'll receive more personal assistance from me and more guidance in our group, Facebook group. What else? So yes, I would say it's all my courses rolled into one, because anything that's coming up for you, we can pull in those specific perspectives or insights to assist you in moving into your expansion. All right. Marcella, I did one of your programs. I did the EFT. I still feel very stuck. What can I do? Well, specifically what's coming up. One of the things, and this is one of the bonuses I put in Embracing Health, devotion as a way to stop trying to heal and heal. One of the things I've seen, which is very, very common, we have the awareness of the energy system. We'll immediately feel the lightness. Whoa. And then it's like, oh, but it's not showing up in the body. Oh, but it didn't show up in my money. Oh, but my mother's still driving me crazy. Oh, but I still don't have a guy. So there are two different, we have two things we can control: where we focus our attention and what we do with our physical body. And the mind cannot manifest or percolate on or generate two things at once, meaning two different frequencies, two different channels at once. It can certainly generate lots of things at once on that same channel, right? Joy and all of the things that are in line with joy could come into my life very quickly, but it cannot manifest on two channels at once. So you cannot manifest on the channel of sensing the lightness and letting myself have the ease unconditionally, and also function on the channel of, oh, my body's still hurting, but I still don't have it, but the money's not showing up. These are two different frequencies, two different aspects where our attention can go. And usually it's not conscious. We're not mastering this. We're hijacked. Our pain takes us back into powerlessness. Our lack takes us back into the I'll never have it, hopelessness. And we get hijacked back into the original frequency. So it's a practice. And in this particular group call, it was a really powerful understanding of what that is and how we move into devotion. I align with this truth, even if X, Y, and Z doesn't look like it's showing up, even if blah, 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 the hopelessness seems to try to get my attention again and bring me back there into victim. How do we stay in this new alignment and appreciate what's actually going on as we bring our physical life into a new dimension, into a higher frequency? So that, just a little touch in on that. See, Marcella, where you're letting that old get your attention, because physical pain symptoms can bring you right back there to that frequency. All right, a couple more little moments here. I'm new to mind body medicine. The thoughts I'm battling are, once I will have fully awakened, then everything will be okay. Yeah, it's the opposite. I've got to enter into, even if it's a 2% space where everything is okay. For example, I relax my body right now. Okay, I have that. My shoulders can relax. Maybe I don't see money coming in. Maybe I still have pain. Maybe blah, 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 blah. But there is this one thing. Maybe I can let my breathing deepen and slow. That's the shift to begin to play with. So there's nothing to battle. And then what you focus on expands. One other Facebook user, what is the exact date? The program starts in June. The deadline for registering is the 1st. We have the first call on June 4th. If I have an illness compromising an organ, could lead to death sooner or later? Is a year-long program going to be okay for me to do? Or do I need to be more proactive? Even if you did a month of this, it's going to shift the trajectory your body is on. So I wouldn't worry, because this is not about you got to complete 12 months and then you have some magical result. Like, even just hitting the registration button will create a transmutation in your body. If this is a choice of something that's aligned for you. I'm not saying everybody in the world has to do this and magically you hit this button. I'm saying if this is here for you and you receive this as a resource, it will absolutely create an electromagnetic shift in you. Every time you make a choice that is expansive for you, every time you make a choice that is expansive, it creates a change in your system. Not just because, I'm going to drink this protein shake and, then it's going to have a chemical effect on my body and I'll get healthier. No, it's actually an electromagnetic experience when I choose something that nurtures me. It could be a piece of chocolate cake. It's not the judgment and conclusion so many of us have been in. Anything that actually is expansive for me, which you can't know when you're in judgment, will create an electromagnetic shift. So I would feel into this, and you can email us at support@drkimd.com. But even just beginning will change the trajectory you're on. So let yourself have a little sip. That first month will shift so much for you. And it's not about, all of us die at whatever point we die, but it's about, have I lived fully? Have I chosen to live fully while I've been here? So I would feel into that. Oh, Cheryl Ann said, I had a great doctor, and using EFT, she saved my life. Still use it 10 years later. It works. Anne said, immersing myself back in your work and allowing some good stuff. Thank you. And I loved your workshop. All right, everyone. I love you too. We'll be here every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We are in YouTube at Dr. Kim Duramo, and we're also in Facebook in the MindBody community. Definitely subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell, share this with 3 people you love. It's a little bit of a magic number because there's an exponential effect that happens for ourselves and in our world. When we share with 3 people, we really magnify something that we're passionate about, that we love, and that we see is truth. You can join the Embracing Health program if you're ready, drkimd.com/health. And if you're just starting this work, you can subscribe at drkimd.com and take the quiz, and it will guide you through some really beautiful resources, free resources I've set up for you online. The workshop is playing at drkimd.com/workshop. So I will put that in again. Hang on a sec, drkimd.com/workshop. It is a really powerful integration. So set aside some time for yourself to move through that process, and you will definitely see some really amazing things emerge for you. All right, lots of love, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye. Oh, Instagram too. Thanks, Alicia. We are in Instagram. We're in Instagram too. And you can join us there because we have a growing community as well. And I tended to forget about that because it's new. We've only been in there the last few months here, but it's been pretty popular. It's grown pretty quickly, and we share lots of videos in there as well. And I'd love to interact with you on Instagram so we can play there as well. All right, everyone.